Hello world, hello YouTube land, happy Friday. Right, this review will be short. It's not even really going to be a review. I've just got a few points here, and rather than talking about the actual plot in this comic, I'm just going to explain the themes and why it's fantastic, why it's an absolutely a revolutionary comic. Really, it's against corporate and police and government's tyranny. It's cutting edge 2013 finger on the zeitgeist comic that everybody needs to check out immediately. I don't know how Gail Simone managed to get away with this. Actually, I do. It's because she's selling comics, isn't it? I suppose if she wasn't selling comics, then she wouldn't be allowed to do this, but she is. And with any big corporation, the bottom line, at certain levels anyway, will just be the profit. And is she producing a what's the word? A unit shifter. That's what a comic is, isn't it? It's a unit. If it shifts, then she's allowed to keep on talking about these things. What's she talking about? I haven't even shown you the comic yet, have I? Here we go. The Movement, it's number 4. DC Comics, The Movement number 4. Mouse, the one-man plague. Mouse is a bit like the Pied Piper. He's got mice and rats who he controls, and on the front cover he's setting them against the corrupt cops of Cobble City. Okay, so what's this comic about? Let me explain. Right, the cops realise that they no longer serve the people. The corporate system's hatred of poor people is addressed. As quote in this comic, being poor doesn't make someone bad. And again, going back to the cops realise that they've taken money from psychopaths. They're dealing with the scapegoating of immigrants as the cause of the present problems. Obviously, America and a country based on immigration. And you've got the authorities using torture and covering up because they know it's illegal, and if they admit to it, they'll be in trouble. They'll be going to jail themselves. And there's with the resistance groups being infiltrated by the government, and Amanda Waller makes an appearance here. Amanda Waller is the character from JLA. She's like the government spokeswoman. So these groups, like the Occupy movement, they always get infiltrated by government agents. What they normally do in the real world is they try to get the groups to do something against the law, so then the police have got a reason to arrest these people. Right, number 7 on the list here. And how do you control an angry group of people who have been abused and lied to? In other words, a revolution can be bloody. That's the question in this comic. And you have the government and the police using the military against the people, and labelling anybody who protests as a domestic terrorist. So you've got this issue where the American military, or the Cobble City, I don't know if they say it's America, I assume it's America, the military are sent off to the foreign wars. They basically use their hardware as they sort of test it out in these foreign countries, that's what I'm trying to say. And when they know it works against a population of Iraqis, Afghanis or whatever, and then they can take it back home and use it against their own people back home. So that's happening in this comic. And you've got the corrupt cops turning on each other when things go bad. That often happens in these tyrannical systems, which we have at the moment. When the people start turning against the system starts turning against itself. And there's a fantastic quote here. One of the heroes says to the cops, "Clean your house, it's positively filthy." Indeed. And as for the artwork, it's frenetic. There's an energy to the art. Everything's in action. There's nothing staying still. I'll give you a quick example. There we go. Loads of things happening. There's lots of energy happening in this comic, which is what you want really when you've got a revolutionary comic. You don't want to say a revolutionary comic where people are sitting down in a room and having a chat. It's enough time to talk. People have been talking about these issues for a long time now. It's time for action, and this comic's all action. So I'm going to just end that review there. It's Movement number 4 by Gail Simone, the most revolutionary comic out there at the moment, fighting against global tyranny. It's not just an American issue, it's a global issue. You've got banks and corporations with too much power, and you've got psychopaths at the very top of these power structures, and using corporate forces, that's what they call policemen by the way, to carry out their tyrannical policies. all dealt with in a comic called The Movement, which is amazing considering it's a DC comic. Do DC really know what they're doing here, or are they just looking at the bottom line, seeing that people are buying it? Who cares? But for the time being, keep buying it and get the word out there. Spread the word. Get everybody to buy this comic. It's one of the best ones going out there at the moment. I'll give it a strong 10 out of 10, and that's the first time I've given a 10 out of 10 to any comic that I've reviewed here on YouTube. Movement, 10 out of 10. Get it now. It is fantastic.